Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. This is just a short guide on how to use Thing. It was requested a few days ago by RavaliPro. Now, I have already done a video on health potion farming, Realm of Legends with Thing, with a specific team. And to be honest, you wouldn't really use him that much outside of that team, because he's so good. If you haven't done them already, he was so good with the first two variants, the Mystery and the Micro Realms variant and Ultron's variant. But now obviously you have a lot more counters to shock, which is what he was primarily best for when he was released. So of course, obviously he's quite an old champion now. People still struggle with him and managing his rock stacks and whatnot, but using him as an attacker, there's not an awful lot to him. As like I say, if you have a Ghost, Havoc, Doom, Guardian, and I'm sure there's many more now. I think even Jubilee is, and like she's coming out now. So yeah. So I thought I'd just put this little video together for him, just to try and explain him a bit better. Alright, so we'll start with signature ability. Obviously, that the higher it is, the better it is. Obviously, mine's only 145. I don't really need him. Don't use him for much more than messing around now. But obviously, at 145, he's got nearly 74% damage reduction, and that only applies to the protection shielding. Now, the only way the protection shielding procs is if you take too much damage from a single hit, that will proc and keep procking. The other one is if you're stunned, but that will go into cooldown after that. And if you charge a heavy and it's not on cooldown, which can be very handy. So if you accidentally push them to special 3, when they get up or you finish your combo, charge a heavy, protection shield will activate, they activate their special 3 and you take nearly no damage, especially if you have a high signature one. He does have his uses in a couple of places in Act 6, but if you have other counters to shock, then not really. So anyway, the way to use him, 20 rock stacks. You don't want to be letting specials go when you don't have 20 rock stacks. You get 1 rock stack per blocked hit, 1 per hit, and 5 for a parry. So for the sake of, if you have a special ready, just back up and parry a couple of times before you let it go, because you'll get additional bonuses from each special by having 20 stacks when you let them go. Special 1, very rarely use it. Normally just to finish a fight off if you're there. Primarily special 2 is pretty much the only special you'll use when it comes to him. Unless you're in a stun immune fight, and special 3 can get you in without needing a parry. So special 1, if you release that with 20 stacks, then they'll get a weakness debuff. Kind of irrelevant, almost not worth using. Special 2, and this the important one with special 2, as I said in the potion farming video, against Wolverine. Once you work it out right, then you can use that special 2 to keep the health, the health procs from not only procking but not getting too many stacks of it. So because you get stagger from it. So your special 2, 20 stacks, you will stun the opponent as well. So ideally, especially in Realm of Legends, if they're against the wall when your last hit lands, then you can get a 13 hit combo from that one special, as they don't have special 3. And obviously then you'll apply a stagger. So against Wolverine and his rejuvenation procking, you can just get rid of 1 stack and control the fight. Obviously that does come in handy for noded fights that I can't think of the names of them now. like the restoration ones that proc every 20 seconds or so. If you can get a special, if you can get to a special 2 in that time, you will stop that from activating. So, like I say, he has his uses, but in terms of today's meta and the champions that are out now, there are better and more counters to what Thing was originally for. So yeah, special 3. Thing is unstoppable and unblockable for 8 seconds. You get that anyway. But at 20 stacks, you will get a Fury effect, or all his Fury effects are 100% stronger for 8 seconds. Now that can be quite handy in certain elements, because when you get to 20, you let the special go, and they'll jump over to passive Furies. So they can't be nullified or anything like that. And I can't remember what the max is. I think it's 60. But anyway, it doesn't really matter. But you don't want to start a fight, get straight to special 3, get to 20 stacks, because you'd only have maybe 5 or 10 passive Furies active by then. So like I say, you just work your way through special 2s. And for the purpose of this video, I'm just going to do one fight with Winter Soldier, because it seems to be the one that holds up the longest, just to show you exactly what I mean. Right, so like I say, special 1, don't bother. Special 2 is pretty much the one you want all the time. So you start your fight as normal, parry, 5-hit combo, blah blah blah. Like I say, you get 5 rock stacks for a parry. So that's pretty much what you want to aim for. Build your way up to a special 2. Once it goes over 20, when you get hit, you will become unstoppable. Which is how to get you out of the jam. So there's the stun. I landed on his feet. 5-hit combo, 5-hit combo. So that was 13 hits I got out of that. And the rock stacks converted over to passive fury. So now I have another special 2. Now I want to parry again. And parry again. Then let it go. Let it stun again. So now I 13-hit combo will put me back on 2 bars of power. Now, you don't want to let that go until you have 20 stacks. Like I say, because it's now at the point where you're now 60 Fury stacks. So if you now decide to save up for special 3, them 60 stacks will convert to being 100% stronger, which again is kind of irrelevant. I personally don't tend to use special 3 unless it's just to kill a fight off or by accident. Energy boost on or something like that, then you can get to a special 3 very, very quickly. So because now I'm unblockable and unstoppable, but the trouble is they're not stunned like they would be off the special 2. So it's not ideal because you can get copped quite quickly. So me personally, stick to special 2s. Like I say, you can bait specials before that. So it's kind of but you can sort of gear it up that way to get rid of their specials before you launch it, so you don't push it to a special 3 by the time you're done with your whole combo. And that's pretty much all there is to him. There's not really much else to him in terms of much more of it. I mean, I can't really think of anything else that I would have missed. I think I've explained him about as much as my knowledge would go of him anyway. That's not to say that there's something I've missed, but that is how you use him. Like I say, 20 stacks, special 2. That is all you're aiming for. And bar that, I can't really think of anything else or any other way that you would use him. But like I say, I mean, that particular fight, just thing on his own, was a lot of hits. Whereas if you go and check out the potion farming guide, that is literally just for fun, then you'll see that it's more like 40 hits instead of 140 hits. So, and that's what that team does for him. But apart from that, like I say, I think that's about all I can cover on him. Hope you like the video. And like I say, this is for RavaliPro, so that's how you use him. Alright, have a good evening.